Hey, shalom, shalom, chavrim, shalom. So I have this, I got this video for you guys. I just, I read this great book from the ministry. I think it was One for Israel. I forget. I think it's One for Israel. And the book is just a short essay. It's in book form, but it's an essay, and it's called Rabbinic Judaism Debunked. All of you Messianic Natzaryim, I would say that you guys really need to get this book ASAP, and it'll shed some light on the things that we Natzaryim should be doing and should not be doing. Okay? But I wanna. Oh, okay. Yes. I remember the point now. So I want to talk about the context of the word goyim that goes back to biblical, before the time of the rabbis. Okay. So let me say something immediately. I'm gonna tell you this. Abraham was promised that he'd be the father of many goyim, many nations, okay? In the biblical Hebrew, in the biblical Aramaic, Hebrew, Proto-Canaanite, all that stuff, the word goyim, didn't mean what the rabbis made it mean centuries later, and what people think it means today. Okay, when Abraham was promised that he would be the father of many ethnic groups, that he would be the father of many nations, that he would be the father of many goyim nations, he wasn't told that he would be the father of many Gentiles. Okay, he would be the father physically. Okay, but he would also be spiritually a patriarch of those who would be believers. Read the book of Joshua and see that Abraham was obedient. Abraham learned from Noah and Shem. He would travel to their home and study Torah at the house of Noah and Shem, because they were still alive while Abraham was alive. Okay, read the book of Joshua. Okay, don't believe that it's not inspired work. There is a real Joshua and there is forgeries. Try and find the real Joshua. Look up the Qumran. New revelations have come out that the scrolls of Qumran were not of the Essenes, but they were the very canon gathering of books, basically of Yochanan the Baptist, who actually did live in Qumran. The Essenes did not live in Qumran at all whatsoever, and some Greek historian mixed things up because he was an Essene. I forget who it is. Look up the video that says who were the Essenes or the Qumran scrolls or blah blah blah. Maybe I'll post it in the comments of this video. Anyways, brethren, we have to come out of Babylon, out of Rome. We have to stop using the word Gentile, and we have to stop using the word Jew in the context of Rabbinic Judaism. Okay. The word Gentile, or goyim, nations, ethnic groups, according to the biblical connotations and context, means those nations that have spread out of the commonwealth of Israel. Israel meaning Yah's governing nation. Okay, remember, in the garden, Elohim was the king, the governor, the ruler, the authority. Okay? Anytime there is a gathering of his people, They are in submission, in subjection, in his kingdom, okay? The Garden of Eden was a form of the kingdom. It was a form of the tabernacle. It was a form of the kingdom that is, was, and is to come, okay? The Eden, the garden, with Adam and Chava, okay? Cain was divorced out of covenant. He was excommunicated. He was expelled. He was taken out of the chen. Look up the word chen. Kaf, chet, and nun, chen. Look it up in the ancient Hebrew dictionary, ancient Hebrew research, or Hebrew for Christians. Chen means Elohim's protection under his strong tent. So that is his wonderful mercy. It is the strong protection that goes to those that are obedient, okay? Those that are living according to all of his guidelines and all of his Torah, all of his word, okay? So the nations, any group of people that splits off of the garden, out of the tabernacle, out of the commonwealth, out of the governing authority of Elohim, they are in a state of divorce from Elohim. Like Adam and Chava were expelled from the garden, and they suffered for it, They were no longer in the protection, in the commonwealth of the protection of Elohim. So a Gentile is not a non-Hebrew, okay? The gentry, the gentrified, gentrification, Gentile. Once again, I'm going to say it again. The Gentile is one who has been expelled from the commonwealth protectorate of Yehovah, of Elohim, Yahuwah, Yah himself. Whatever name you guys like, they're all good names. Okay? The point is, the Goyim, the nations, are those nations that are made less, that are made least in the kingdom. They're made least because they're disobeying the Torah. They're disobeying the commandments, the guidelines and instructions. And remember, the guidelines and instructions are so that you have life, that you may live. He says, choose life, that you may live. Okay? Choose life, that you may live. So, brethren, okay, stop using the Vaticanized, rabbinic, false definition of the word Goyim or Gentiles. Any believer that is of Yeshua is no longer a Gentile, okay? You are grafted onto the true vine. So if you are a believer of Yeshua, you are a co-heir, you are echad with Yeshua as a Jew in the commonwealth of Israel, okay? The kingdom that is coming, the messianic reign, you Natzaryim, you Messianics, if you guys are obeying the Torah, okay, you will be of Judah. It doesn't matter if you're from Ephraim or Manasseh or anything. I'm a Benjamite myself. It doesn't matter. Yeshua makes you the true vine of Yehudah, of Israel, the governing commonwealth that is ruled by Elohim, by Mashiach. Okay? So stop thinking. Okay, Shaul says to not force people to live like Jews, okay? But he's speaking in a context. He's saying, do not force the Samaritans to live like rabbinic, Second Temple, Hasmonean, false Judaism, okay? That is the yoke of oppression. That is the, I'm sorry to say, but biblically, that is the abomination that causes desolation. That is the yoke of bondage. Okay, the oral Torah, as Yeshua and Shaul explained, is the yoke of bondage that brings you away from Israel, away from the Torah of Yah, of Elohim, okay? And you are now following the traditions of men. The rabbinic, please, brothers, leave the rabbinic Judaism, leave their customs, leave the leaven, cleanse your homes of leaven, cleanse your homes. Look at the history of the rabbinic bloodlines, okay? They are not true Levites. They are not Levites. Let me tell you, there is a great expose, besides the rabbinic Judaism debunked, there is a great expose explaining how Babylonians that were intermingled with Chaldeans and Amorites and Jebusites, they intermingled the seed. And let me tell you something, it has been revealed that the Hasmonean, Herodians, and all those dynasties were Nephilim bloodlines, okay? So they have no right to be temple anything, okay? The Hasmoneans and the Herodians were buying their way into the priesthood. They were killing the Levitical priesthood. They were killing the conservative Yehudim, okay? They were killing those that really believed in the Tanakh, in the Torah, the real Torah that comes from Elohim. So these corrupted bloodlines were in enmity with the true Shemitic people, the people of Seth, the people of Shem, the people of Abraham, the true children of Noah, and the true Israel that is obedient, okay, the true people that are calling upon the name of Elohim, or I should say the Father, and calling to be saved by the Father at the time before Yeshua, or for example, I mean, brothers, Abraham knew Melchizedek. Abraham knew Melchizedek. I forgot how to pronounce it in Hebrew. It's like Melchizedek or something like that. I think it's Melchizedek. Anyway, sorry, my Hebrew is sometimes it's not so good. Anyways, brothers, so erase the leaven from your vocabularies, from your belief system. If you are a messianic believer, you're no longer a Gentile. You are a Jew, grafted onto the true vine of Yehudah, of the Jews, of Judah, of Benjamin, and a little bit of the Levites. But the Levites, whatever, they're grafted onto Yehudah. Okay. So brethren, tell the Christians. Okay? Tell the other cults. If you are a believer, you call yourself a believer of Yeshua the Messiah of Nazareth, you are no longer a Gentile. You're not a Gentile believer. You're not a Samaritan. You're not you are grafted onto the Commonwealth of Israel. The Israel governed by Elohim. Okay, that is what the word Yisrael means. Some say Yasharel. I don't know. I got to look that one up about the Yasharel. I don't know about it. Maybe it's the Aramaic pronunciation. But in any case, the true kingdom that is coming, you are a co-heir of it. Like Shaul says, you're sitting with Melech Mashiach. Yeshua, you're sitting with him as a son. You are echad in him, like Yeshua prayed. He says, Father, I pray that these men you have given me are echad with me as I am echad with you. Okay? So, brethren, leave the Christian doctrines behind. Stop talking Christian nonsense. Okay? Let me say another thing too. I want you, brethren, that are still learning the Torah, I want you to look up Marcion. Marcion the heretic. Just look up Marcion the heretic and get this vocabulary of grace out of your systems. That is more leaven from a heretic. Marcion was a Gnostic heretic that was excommunicated, that the second, third, fourth generation Talmudim, the second, third, fourth generation Shalachim, the students of the apostles, the students of the disciples, they wrote against heretics like Marcion and Arius. Marcion was a heretic Gnostic. He hated the Jews. He hated the Old Testament. He said blasphemies, and he was excommunicated. And Tertullian actually wrote 5-volume book denouncing and calling out the heresies of Marcion. Let me tell you one of the heresies of Marcion: grace, unmerited favor, grace. That is a heresy of Marcion, and it is a Christian false doctrine. Okay, I want you people to look up, for example, Ephesians 2:8 through 9, and I want you to look it up in the Brit Chadashah. For example, go to the Old Testament and pick out words, and see how Shaul was truly speaking in Hebrew in Ephesians. Okay, he wasn't saying, "For by unmerited favor you are saved through believing, even though you don't see, without proof, that you're saved of works, so anybody should boast." In the Hebraic understanding, I just preached this to my aunt on the way to the airport earlier this morning. The word chen, strong covering, for by Yah's protection inside of his tabernacle, inside of his mercy, inside of his strong tent, you are saved through, I'm pretty sure it's like emunah, amar, obedience, faithfulness. For by chen you are saved through obedience, through faithfulness, not of tachanot, not of religious deeds. Okay, when the scriptures talk about the deeds that are the works that are as filthy rags, he's not talking about following Torah. Okay, following Torah is not filthy rags. Following Torah is the life, is the tree of life. Torah is the tree of life. Yeshua is the living Torah. Yeshua is the living example, embodiment of the true Adam that we're the works that are leaven are the works of the rabbis, the tachanot of the rabbis. Yeshua constantly said to avoid the tachanot of the rabbis. That is the leaven that puffs up. Think, Yeshua said that the leaven of the rabbis puff them up because they think that their deeds are the salvation. Let me tell you, I'll say it again. The deeds, the handiwork, those things of men, 666, the works of men's hands, the ideas of men, that is the abomination that causes desolation. You are an idolater thinking that your religious ideas will save you. I'm sorry, but your man-made religious ideas will not save you. As Yeshua said, you transgress the Torah of Elohim, and you love the traditions of men, the tachanot of men. Okay? So, brethren, leave this Christian nonsense of false gospel. Remember, if anyone comes preaching a false gospel, and I'm sorry to say, but the Christians are indeed preaching a false gospel. It's not even supposed to be called the gospel. I forget. My imam told me the word. It's like the way, the most excellent way. Remember, Shaul and Yeshua, they're talking about the most excellent way. Okay, they're not talking about some, Greek ideology. Remember, the false Jews, the rabbinic, Hasmoneans and the Hellenistic Maccabees and all, they fell to Greek ideology. They fell into Greek nonsense, okay? As Greek orators would be hired to preach good news, to speak